Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm going to show you something here. These are while loops, and if you can pay attention to what I wrote up here, it says I equals one, and then it says notice the indentation also. This is with this I equals one, and then you enter, and this is on the same line. While I is less than or equal to 5 colon, and then you enter, and then you indent right here. I just put a space. And notice print I, and then this is on the same line. So I equals 1, while I is less than or equal to 5, print I. And then down here it says I equals I plus 1, which is kind of confusing if you don't know about programming. Like, if you're just looking at it as like a normal person, it just is kind of weird. So basically what we have here, I equals 1, which means it starts. It starts at 1. So if it looks confusing, this is a lot of memorization, how the order is. So I equals 1, basically it starts at 1. As you can see down here when we put enter, it starts at 1. While I is equal or less than 5, right? Which is while it's less than 5, which obviously means it stops at 5. You can see down here it stops at 5. And it says print I. So in this equation, I equals this. So I just keeps on getting bigger by 1. I equals I plus 1. So now I just keeps on getting bigger by 1. So I is 1 first, I is 2, I is 3, I is 4, and then I is 5. So this is just like an operation here. And I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to type this out, show you one more thing. It gets a little bit more confusing, but I'll explain it. Alright guys, so I wrote this out, and this is something, it just is a little, tiny bit more complicated, but it'll make sense. So if you see up here, I put x equals 0, and like I said, that's where it starts. So you can see down here, it starts at 0, while x is less than 10. So obviously if something is less than 10, it's not 10. So it stops at 9 right here. Colon, and then you do a space, and then I just ended in with a with just a space. And it says print x. So like we talked about before, x just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So x is 0, right? And this is the tricky part. When I first started doing Python, they somehow skipped this lesson right here, and I was like, man, what is x plus equals 1? Like, what is that? Like, they just skipped that lesson. So they're just like doing a shorthand, which if you ever see this, it just means x equals x plus 1. So they just took this out and just made it shorter. So think x equals x plus 1, which means x just keeps getting bigger by 1, right? It starts at 0 and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it just keeps getting bigger. So x keeps changing, and it just stops before 10, so it stops at 9. So hope that helped you out. Thanks.